Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Cancer, and we have the 8 of Wands. All right, and let's take a look and see what do these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right, so we have a dog. We have a dog right here, and you can see its little head, eyes, nose, ear. It looks like it's stretching. It's like maybe standing up and stretching and then looking backwards. And I just feel like there is such a love. And I feel like maybe this is, usually I say, okay, this means that you have somebody close to you who you're really loyal to, who is really loyal to you, your best friends, and so on. No, I think this is actually maybe a dog in your life, or maybe a dog who was in your childhood, okay? A dog that you absolutely love, you think about them often. This is one of the great examples of a good relationship, right? Unconditional love. I think there's a sense of devotion here. I feel like maybe, especially if this was when you were a kid, like a family dog, this was one of the first times you experienced this kind of soul-to-soul connection. Of course, maybe with your parents or siblings, but with this animal, with this dog, with this being, there was this energetic connection, right? I can imagine like laying on the floor next to each other, kind of, petting the dog and looking at the dog, and the dog's looking at you, and there's just like a camaraderie there, a kinship that goes so deep. And I feel like this is something that, maybe you have not had again, or maybe this is kind of, this set you up to seek deep relationships with others. Not a lot of superficial connections. You are not somebody who goes for quantity. You're looking for quality. And so I feel like this beautiful animal, this, soulmate of yours really has set the tone of how you interact, how you connect, and kind of, what you expect or what you hope to achieve with somebody else, or maybe with another fur companion. Okay, and so we also have the heart right here. You can see there's the heart in the middle. So, especially if this is a dog who has transitioned, okay, I feel like this is a confirmation from them that they are ever with you, right? And maybe you recently have been thinking about them or dreaming about them, and here they are coming up once again. And I love the kind of head turning and looking back, because it's almost kind of like I'm gonna be waiting for you, right? I'm gonna be here when you're ready to come and join me. And there's a real kind of, bittersweetness to that feeling, but knowing that you will see them again, okay? And I fully believe that. I have to. I had a cat his name was Guido, and he was one of the great loves of my life. And he passed away 4 years ago almost, right after my daughter was born. He hung on. I really believe that he hung on for when she was born. And then about a month and a half after she was born, he passed away. And it was, I could cry right now. It was so devastating. And I still think about him every single day. I think about him. So, yeah, but I know he's here. I know that I will be with him again someday, right? So let's take a look. We also have, it almost looks like we have maybe an S or a Z. We have an O and an M. But I want to look at it right here. Maybe it is a W, because it does. It has kind of the serif things there. So we have the W, we have an O, and we have, yeah, I can't, and maybe it's a Z. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe it's another W, maybe it's MOM. Mother's Day in America is coming up here in a few days. But I feel like it's a W. So maybe it's wow. It could be. Or WOM. I don't know. Maybe you know what it is. It could be WM as well, or WW as like initials, something. These letters mean something to somebody. I know it. Okay, let's see. So we also have, and I want to look at this one. We have what looks like it is a person. It is also a wolf. Okay, you can see the body, and you can kind of see almost like it's a mask or a headdress or something. And looking up right at the moon, the crescent moon. And we're right on the cusp of the new moon. I think tomorrow is the new moon. As I'm recording this on Saturday, I think this video comes out on Monday. So we'll be in the full moon, or the new moon when this comes out. And it feels very powerful. I've been feeling it for the last day. Coming on. I feel like the full moon affects me and everybody else, but the new moon really affects me. I mean, absolutely, I feel it. I'm like, oh, is it the new moon? Because I feel a certain way. All right, so we have this beautiful, I mean, it looks like a hierophant, a high priest, maybe a high priestess, but then next to it, it looks like we do have a priestess with maybe some kind of dress or wrap on, and then the head right there. The head there and the body. And then we have what looks like maybe some other kind of, maybe a devotee or something wearing some kind of animal costume. And now they're all upright. So they are, in my estimation, human beings, people. Oh, and it looks like we have a weasel. Oh, the other day, I know what people complain about me talking about myself, but I'm sorry. I get so excited to share. The other day, we got to meet some ferrets, my husband and my daughter and I, and they were so cute. They were the cutest. And if you know who my husband is over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, please go over there and tell him that we need some ferrets in our life because they're adorable. And so, anyways, so we have some kind of weasel here, okay? We also have an S. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like it is almost kind of like the mysteries. It reminds me of like maybe something like the Elysian mysteries. Elysian. No, is it the Elysian mysteries? I know the Elysian fields. The mysteries of Bacchus and Persephone. Here, I'm looking it up really quick. Mysteries. No, Eleusinian. And it's terrible that I can't pronounce them. But you know what? I know a lot about these particular mysteries because they're some of the most documented. And also Terrence McKenna has a really interesting talk about them where he talks about what is it called? Mushroom honey and plant medicine that he supposes they were probably partaking in. He doesn't know, right? But anyways, really if you've never read about any of the mysteries, but especially these mysteries, the Eleusinian mysteries, definitely go check them out. Very, very cool. But looking at this, it almost also, I'm looking at it reminds me of maybe the mystery mansion of Pompeii, right? And if you can picture in your head, if you know what I'm talking about, the murals with the red background, and there it's kind of the gods at some kind of feast or gathering. And they're it's very macabre looking, the way that they're painted. They're frescoes. And so that means they're painted right onto the wall. And I don't know what it is about those paintings, but they're very haunting looking. And so it really does. It looks like some kind of ritual being played out. Now we also have a dragon over here. So I feel like there's this sense of really getting into this animalistic side of self, of your spiritual practices, kind of alleviating yourself of some of the constraints of being pretty inhibited. And, as a Cancer, it's not always easy to get outside of yourself, right? You're very much you grasp onto the sense of safety, control, being in a place that, this is my domain. This is my little kingdom. This is my temple. I don't like to venture out of it too far. I don't want anybody, coming in unless I allow them. And so, I think that sometimes it can be hard to let go of all of the kind of complicated thinking and emotions, and allowing yourself to kind of succumb to, the flow of this kind of work, which I understand. It's hard unless you are somebody who is, pretty interested in like ceremonial magic or these kind of reconstructionalist type of systems of magic and old cults kind of rising again. There are a lot of like ceremonies where you dress up and you do all these different parts of the ritual and so on, and it can kind of feel like role playing. That's how I feel. Not that that's what it is, but I can't get into it fully because I feel like I'm like in a community play or something, like I don't know why, but it's just always been the case. And I get very anxious and self-conscious about it. So, I think that this is not unlike how Cancers might be, but also once a Cancer person really can find the doorway into something, then I feel like it is easy to fully immerse yourself. And so I look at this and I feel like, yeah, there's a real sense of this lunar kind of ritual happening. Something I feel that it really is kind of this, I feel like it's really kind of a desire, sensuality, kind of, like I said, animalistic, primal, really kind of like getting back to the source of things. And I feel like as we look down here, we have a person sitting. We have two birds, one in the hand, one sitting over here. It reminds me very much of an oracle, okay, a seer. And so I feel like there is kind of employing this operation, this ritual, this ceremony, as a way to merge with this kind of oracle energy. Now, again, it does not surprise me for a Cancer to have this kind of divination skill, to be able to see into things, to be able to, you know, find signs, symbols, synchronicities, but also foretell the future, okay? I don't know what it is about Cancer people. They're just born magicians. They're just born oracles. They're just born, high priestess, high priest. There's just something about the configuration of especially a solar and lunar Cancer that very magical people, but also just enough of restraint to not get too far into it. But at times I feel like it is. You have to kind of, find a way to unravel just a little bit. And I feel like the real goal here is for you to be connected more deeply with your ability to divine. And, I see this being quite successful. So, keep it up, keep going for it. I feel like it's right there for you. Now, if you are hearing this and you're thinking, this is really a weird reading. I don't do magic. I'm not in a cult. I don't do ceremonies or anything like that. I also don't do any kind of divination or whatever, some kind of magic stuff. Okay, maybe that is the case, and definitely, I would say that people who do these things are probably in the minority, right? But I would go into a place and say that we all partake in ritual. If we are aware of that or not. Not everything, but a lot of things we do, especially our routines. If you think of kind of self-care things, like, you get ready for bed, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you do, whatever else before you get into bed. These are rituals, okay? And so it is kind of programmed into us in some way that these repetitive step-by-step things, whatever it is kind of a key that it turns the lock, it opens the lock. So, if you have a formal ritual ceremony or not, I feel like you have this kind of innate ability to kind of alter your perception so that you can get into a place where you are seeing things as they are. And I feel like, you might not think of yourself as a seer or a diviner or whatever, but I feel like people have told you you're a really good judge of character. Often you will say something and it will come true. You will notice something about somebody, maybe everybody else is kind of fooled by it. You will see, no, this person, there's something about them. I can feel it. I know that there's something going on here. And, people might say, oh, you're too judgmental, you're critical of people. But no, it's not. You see things that other people don't. And that really is not just intuition. I think that you really have the ability to divine. Okay. And you maybe are an oracle of some kind. Okay. So that being said, if you are interested in exploring that, I feel like you should start reading some little books. Look at the internets, go on some groups, start looking and seeing like what are my options? What kind of mediums can I use? There's so many things. The big one we know about, right? Tarot cards, things like astrology, although astrology is like a different beast in itself. It is so complicated. I mean, if you want to cast charts well, it is a very complicated process. And you have to understand a lot of things. And to me, I am so intimidated by it. I think it's so cool, but it's intimidating. But there are so many things. You can read leaves, you can, scry, all kinds of stuff. You can use things like pendulums or geomancy, I Ching, there's just so many things. So go out there and look. Go and see what maybe will suit you. I think the pendulum is one that is fun, and they actually make these cool boards. They're like a circle, and they're etched. It's like wood, and they're cheap. You can go find them online, even wherever they sell stuff. And they have like different, like this one's yes, no, maybe. And then there's, like different elements and dates and, all kinds of things. And you hang the pendulum over and kind of whatever, swing it around. And then it will settle around, it'll hit the marks of where you're supposed to look. And if you can practice that, that is one that is, a little more straightforward, and I think it's a really interesting one. So maybe something to look into, definitely. So we have 201 right here. 201. We have a G, a capital G. So I'm guessing a name. Oh, and then we have Jon, John. Okay, let's look over here. So we have a ram up here, maybe an Aries person. I almost wonder, okay, so we have a crow, we have a person, we have the desert, we have, a cardinal as well, and we have a ram. So I feel like this is somebody coming through. This is, with the cardinal, it lets me know this is somebody beloved to you who you also were beloved to them. They are transitioned. They have left their physical form. They are coming to not only let you know, hey, I'm here with you, I love you. So if you ever see a cardinal out there in your garden or, at your window, or it's sitting in the tree next to your office window or whatever, it's somebody coming to tell you, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me, I love you. But I also feel like this is an Aries person possibly, or maybe somebody with the attributes of the ram, which is like steadfast. Somebody who had maybe a difficult life, but they, worked hard and they, against all odds, made something of themselves. They're tough. They were a tough person, but also very loving and very loyal to the family. And I feel like they maybe lived in a desert or kind of arid place. It could be even like the prairie or somewhere very warm, but I feel like it is kind of a deserty landscape. Now, I also think that there's a sense of, I feel like maybe even you having the desire to move there or move away from there. Maybe you still live where they're from, you all are from, but I almost feel like this is, you want to leave or you want to move back. one or the other. But then we have the crow, and that tells me, this person is telling me that you're on the right path. Follow your instincts. Whatever it is. If you want to go out and live in a different climate or a different area, maybe there's somebody you want to move for, or maybe it's a job, or you're trying to move away from somebody. Whatever it is, this person coming through is saying, yes, follow your instincts here. It's the right way to go, okay? Now we also have the dandelion kind of blowy thing, and to make a wish, okay? So in this moment, I want you to make a wish. I want you to set an intention, and I want you to keep that close to your heart, okay? I feel like this is going to be a time of opening, and I feel like this is going to be a time of great manifestation. Now, we also have the 8 of Wands, and you can see we have the geese, right? And they are flying, maybe they're flying north, maybe they're flying south, wherever those Canadian geese are going. But they are in movement, right? And they know they have to move when it's the right time, and they know when that time is. Rarely do you see one lingering. Sometimes though. I live in a really cold climate during the winter, and they come here and they stay for a while, then they fly north or they fly south or whatever. But once in a while you'll see one hanging along a little too late into the fall, and you're like, what is this? What are you doing? And then, then they'll leave. But it's like their wires got crossed or something. But I feel like, yeah, there is a sense of you knowing that something's got to change a little bit. Maybe it's time to go. Maybe it's time to go home. And we have that confirmation. Now, we also have the Wild Bohemian affirmation cards, and these are the fire element. I'm going to go ahead and flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Oops, right there. Okay. And it says, I am infinite. You behold many talents. Allow them to fully bloom. Kindred spirits enfold you. Kindred spirits enfold you. All right. Tea leaves everywhere. I just cleaned this up and they're just everywhere. I usually have a little pile over here where you can't see because I'm always picking them up. All right. Cancer, I love you. You know I do. I don't like to pick favorites, but I'm married to a Cancer. I come from a family full of Cancer people. I just absolutely love Cancer people. I don't know what else to say about it besides it is something that is undeniable. So I love you, and I thank you for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel a lot. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean the world to me. All right, I love you. Excuse me, I was trying to hurry up. I was trying to get through it, so I didn't do that. Excuse me. Yes, anyways, yes, take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a couple days. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to bed. All right, good night.